This conference will now be recorded.
We have a primitive data type like byte, short, long, int, float, double, boolean, character, and string, right? So, and based on the declared positions, variables are categorized into based on declaration position. Three, right?
Global,
Local
static,
variables,
local.
yeah, local variables, global variables, static variables. Local in a sense, if I declare a variable outside of the method, that is we are calling as global variable, right? So morning we have discussed see local variables inside the method, inside a class, inside a method, that is we are calling as a local variable. So outside of the method, inside a class, we are calling as a global variables. If the variable with static keyword, we are calling as static variable. And anyway, for local variable, the combination of static keyword, it's not possible because we'll get error. Inside static, inside a method, we cannot declare a static variable. Always you have to declare a static variable outside of the method. Clear? That's what we have discussed. And after that, so accessing variables. So we can access in three ways. Directly you can access variables, and with class name reference. Whenever you have a static variables, we can access static variables by using class name reference and with object reference. And we'll discuss in detail how the object reference and how can we access the object reference, right? So let me create one more package here. New, take a package. Package name is I'm saying methods test. Okay team, let's finish. Let me create a class here. My class name is just as of I'm giving a, right? So what is the syntax of method, main method? Anyone? Syntax of main method, you have to remember team. Public static void main string array x.
String X.
Right? See, let me ask you one basic question. So this is my main method, right? Can I take one more main method inside a class? Give me in chat. Give me in chat, everyone.
No,
Yes or no?
no.
Yeah. Okay. No. Ma'am, give me in chat. Okay. So we cannot maintain two same methods, two main method inside a class. Clear? And moreover, can I take? Sorry. Can I take here one more method, my own method? So you can take any method. You can take any number of method inside a class. So don't think like we have to take only one method. Inside a class, we can take a number of methods. See, so methods. So first of all, what is a method? Right? Method nothing but it's a function. So it's a function we can inside a method. So if you want to write any program, if you want to write any source code, that should be inside your method, except variable declaration. So any code, any source code, if you want to write, that should be inside method only. Outside of the method, you cannot write anything. Even system.out.println also you cannot give outside of this method. See, observe it. It will give you error. Always remember, if you want to write anything, that should be inside your method only, whether it may be a main method. And we have a methods in Java. First one is there are two types. As of now, let's consider two types: predefined methods, and second one is user defined methods. What is predefined methods team? So these methods we no need to declare, these methods we no need to create. This is created by program itself. So already we have these methods. Already we have these methods in Java. You no need to create these methods. Java people already created these methods. You have to use these particular methods. So one of the important method is main method. The main method, people are already created this method. You don't need to create this one. Just we are using this method. That's it. Along with this main method, you can define your own method. That is we are calling as a predefined method. Sorry, user defined methods. So we can create any method. Let's say, so as of now I'm taking public. What is public team? Just give me in chat. What is a public? Everyone, what is a public? It is a access specifier, right? So what are the access specifiers we have? Okay, thank you.
Private, default,
Public, private, protected, default,
default.
right? Yes, thank you. See, remember team, you have to remember each and every keyword. See, keep on increasing subject. So you have to remember, right? So we have a public, private, protected, default. Public in the sense anyone can access this method. So whatever I'm going to define, that method anyone can access. That's why I'm giving public. So if you are giving private, you can access within this class only. We'll discuss in detail. We'll discuss. As of now, remember there are 4 access specifiers: public, private, protected, default. So as of now, I'm giving my method name as starting my method name as public, right? So public, static, and return type. As of now, I'm giving return type. I'll tell you what is the return type, why I'm giving return type. See, this is my own method. This is the method of, this is the name of main method. For my method, I can give my own name. Let's say as of now, test case, right? And curly, sorry, parenthesis and open curly braces, close curly braces. This is how I can give my own method. And inside a class, you can take n number of methods like this. Based on your requirement, you can take any number of methods. And remember, so we can give a method inside a class, and we should not declare a method inside a method. Observing. So I'm declaring my own method inside main method. This is not at all allowed, because always every method should be an independent. Inside a class, you can give n number of method, but inside a method, you should not give a method, right? And why the method? Why the method? See, to write a program, see, so whatever the code I'm writing inside a main method, it will execute as it is, right? To maintain flexibility in programming, we are having the concept called methods. So you'll get to know by the time of writing different methods, you will get to know why the method. So as of now, understand code reusability, code optimization, and to less memory allocations, and the flexibility. To get all these things, we are writing different methods, right? So, and remember, inside a methods, inside a class, we can give any number of methods, and inside a method, you should not create a method. Clear? And now, see, this is my public static void main. This is my main method. So let me remove this one, system.println. Copy this one, go to the paint. This is public static void main string array args. See, what is the public team? It's a access specifier or access modifier. Already we discussed few minutes for this with this one. What is a public, what is a private, what is a default, right? And then static is a special keyword in Java. What will do with static keyword? Already we discussed, I think, morning, right? Can we declare a static variable? Give me in chat.
Yes.
Yes, we can declare a static variable that is nothing but a static. We can declare a static keyword for a variable that is nothing but a static variable, right? See, this is a keyword and this is a return type. We'll discuss return type. What is the return type? And this is main method name. And this is parenthesis, this is parameter. This is all we are calling as parameter. And this one flower braces, method body start, and then method body end, right? See, already we know the public, already we know the static keyword, and come to the return type void. And remember, so but that the name and the parameter itself we are calling as, this is a method signature. Remember team, main method name plus parameter we are calling as a method signature. From here to here, method name plus parameter we are calling as a method signature, right? See, let me take one more method here, public static void add. Here I want to add two numbers. How to add? How to take two numbers team? Directly can I take like this? 10 and 20, 10 plus 20. Is this hello? No, right? So already we know it, right? System cannot understand. For system understanding purpose, we have to take like this. Either you can take in global level or else you can take in method level. If you take inside a method, that is a local variable. Now I can take two local variables like this. Int 10, int a equals to 10 and int b equals to 20, right? So I can add these two numbers like a plus b. What is the result? A plus b. What is the result? A plus b.
30.
30. And why I'm getting error here? Why I am getting error here?
The result should be stored into another variable.
Exactly, very good. The result should be stored into one more variable because it is a number. System cannot understand your result. If system wants to understand your number, your result, that should be stored into one more variable. It's not don't println, and let me print a result here, right? So if I print this one, if I execute this one, what may be the output? What is the output team if I execute this one? If I execute this program, what may be the output? Team, anyone? Give
A
me in
plus
chat.
b equal to
Sorry, give me in chat. Give me in chat. If I execute this program, what is the output? Got answer from Bhargavi? Anyone? Okay, thank you. Anyone? Jyoti? Okay, thank you. Setagar? Thank you, team. See, observe team, I'm executing this program to avoid the confusion. Let me remove this one also. Just I have a, see, just I have a main method and I have my method. This is my method. I have given my method. So observe team, I'm executing program. How to execute? Right click, run as Java application. See, execution completed team. Are you able to see here terminate, console, terminate? So if you're not able to see the console here, you can navigate window, show view, console. Console, it will give you output. But as of now, I'm getting any output? No, right? Why I'm not getting output here? Anyone? Why I'm not getting output? Give me in chat. Give me in chat. Exactly, ma'am. Bhargavi. Anyone? See team. See, anyway, I'm trying to add two numbers here. By using my main method, I'm trying to add. So int a equal to 10, int b equals to 20, result and a plus b, I'm storing into result. Again, it is an integer. To get output, I'm printing here. Taking system.out print ln. Right? But so observe here. So as of now, main method, whenever I click on run as Java application, JVM will start the execution, right? And it's come to the fifth line where first of all it will check whether it is having the main method or not. And so it will execute as it is from my main method from fifth line to seventh line only, because main method having the memory. And as of now, do I have this method memory? There is no memory, right? So anyway, people are implemented such a way that main method having a memory, but this is implemented by me. I don't have, as of now, this method doesn't have any memory because it is not executing. So if you want to execute this method, you can directly call into inside a main method. This is the one of the access of methods. Method accesses directly you can access. Right? So semicolon. Writing. So if you want to execute a program, if you want to execute your methods, if you want to execute your variables, that should have a memory. If you want to execute, that's directly you can call into main method. Right? Now observe the output this time. Run as Java application. Now whenever executed, so the JVM will start from the execution from fifth line. It will go to the fifth line. The main memory, check for the main method, and the main method present yes, and main method having the memory yes, and it will come to the sixth line and it will execute add method and comes to from sixth line to directly come to the 10th line. So 10th line, whatever we have given 10th line, declare a variable, local variable, a equal to 100, b equal to 20, and now add a value, b value, store it into result, and this result is integer type, and print the statement whatever inside the double quote plus result value. Clear team? Remember, whenever you want to execute any program, you should have a memory. For our own methods, we don't have any memory. One of the predefined method, main method having a memory. Execution always starts from the main method. So JVM always looks for a main method by the time of execution. That's why inside a main method we are calling our own methods. Clear, team? And this is the execution of directly, accessing the methods directly. Let's consider access methods. First one is directly. You can access directly, right? So, and this is the directly. So second one is, see, if my method having a static keyword, you can access with already I've discussed morning, right? Int a equals to 100. Let's say I'm getting too much noise. So int age equals to 100, right? See here, if it is static, I can access with class name reference. We discussed in the morning. If my method name is static, and here I can access my method by using class name reference. A dot, what is my method? My method name is add method. This is with class name reference. So the condition is your method should having a static keyword. Otherwise, you cannot access. See here, as of now, am I getting any error in 7th line? No, right? And let me remove the static keyword. Observe here. So as of now, let me calm this line. Observe here. I'm not at all able to call this add method inside my main method with class name reference. Observe, whenever I mention the static keyword, now the error gone. Observe output. Run as Java application. Clear, team? And one more way is with object reference. Already we know how to create object. We have a syntax to create object, class name reference, object name reference to new keyword, and the class name. After that, you have to call that method by using object reference, a dot add method. And this is the third way, by using object reference. This is the third way. So we can access variables, we can access methods in 3 ways. The first one is directly we can access. Second one is class name reference. The condition is it should have a static keyword, whether it may be a variable or method, and object reference. Clear, team? Directly and with class name reference, and the third one is object reference. These are the 3 ways we can access either variables, either methods. Clear? Please let me know if you have any doubts. Any doubts, ma'am? Any doubts? Give me in chat. As of now, any doubts to accessing methods or variables? The first way directly, second way class name reference, third way with object reference. And let me execute. You will get 3 execution reports. First time I'm executing with directly. This is with class name reference. This is with object reference. Execution point of view, there is no any difference as of now. The execution point of view, there is no any difference. Whether it may be a directly, whether it may be a class name reference, whether it may be object reference. Clear? Let me copy this code for understanding purpose. I can give you like this. Right? So let me remove this code. See here, int age equals to 100. As of now, let me give a static. System.out.println age. What is the output team? If I execute this one, run as Java application, obviously the output is 100 because directly I'm giving age. Right? See, let me access my variable inside my main method. How can I access this one? I want to access my 100 value inside main method. How? There are 3 ways, right? One is directly you can access, or else class name reference because it is having static, or else with object reference. Now, anyway, you can access by using directly with class name reference by object reference. Remember, here I am trying to access age here, semicolon. Here I am getting error. Why? Why I am getting error? Why I am getting error? Exactly, because whenever I'm trying to access a variable, it's always coming with some value that has to store it into one more variable, right? So getting age, right? So this age coming with value that has to store it into one more variable so that I can use further purpose. So now, so if you want to print this getting age, so it will give you as it is your value, no difference, right? See, first initially I declare the variable and declare the value, data type, variable name equals to a variable value 100. So whenever I call 100, is this age variable coming with 100 value, my 100 value is storing into one more value because program will not support when if you give directly age, program will not able to support. Obviously you have to declare into one more variable, you have to store it into one more variable value, right? So, and remember, always you have to store your variable value into one more variable by the time of calling, by the time of execution, right? See, and remember, if I call this add method, if I call this add method, am I getting any error? Am I getting any error? No, right? So because method storing options, method storing value option is always it is an option because it won't throw any error. So anyway, and method also coming with some value, method also coming with some response by the time of execution, by the time of calling, method also coming with some response. So as of now, my add method response is, this is return type, it is returning void nothing but 0, nothing but return type, right? So what is my method return type? As of now, it's return type void. Void nothing but it is returning 0. You can say null. You can say 0, null, no response. Or else you can say it is not giving anything, any value, no value. Or else you can say no value. So what is the main method return type? It's an void. Main method, it not going to return any value, right? See, now my add method is returning type. What return type? It's a void return type. By the time of calling, you can observe, move the cursor here, it will show you your method return type. Are you able to observe here void? My cursor is now on add method. So add method return type void, because it is not returning anything, and I can return the values from the methods. See, let's consider. As of now, just commented this one. Here, I want to store. I want to execute. I want to get this add value here. I want to get the result value here. Here, as of now, let me comment out this one. Here, I want to use the value, this a plus b result value inside my main method. How can you use? Just here, return the value here, return the statement. Let's return the statement here. For returning value, we have a statement called return. Return, which you have to return. I want to return this result. Semicolon. And now, whenever I document return value, whenever I want to whenever I have given the return statement and my program throwing error, right? Observe the error and move cursor here. It is saying that, so it is giving me two options. What is the first one? Change method return type to integer, or else change to return. Nothing but it is saying that, boss, you are returning a value. This method return type should be integer, because it is returning result. Result type is integer, or else remove this return type. What is my first option? My first option is I have to change my method return type into integer, because I am returning integer. Now select first option, change method return type to integer. Now observe team, before clicking, I am having a void return type here. After clicking my first option, it is automatically changed to integer. Able to observe? Before that we have void. Now whenever you choose the first option, it will change to integer. Now my method type is integer. Observe carefully. If I move cursor again to the add method, it will show you return type. Now this time it is integer return type. Are you able to observe? Let me give void here. Now observe here what it is returning. It is returning void now. Nothing but it is returning zero value, null value. Now change by selecting first option. Now it is returning my integer. My add method return type is integer. Again, I can store it into one more variable. See here, what it is returning? It is returning integer. I can take it into one more variable, that is integer result. I can say final result. Clear team? See, by the time of variable calling, by the time of variable access, always you have to store it into one more variable. But by the time of calling method, always the storing variable value is optional. You won't get any error. Here method level, anyway my method is returning integer, but I don't want to store it into one more variable, because it's allocating one more fewer memory. it is occupying memory inside my JVM, so that I don't want to allocate memory for my returning type of add method. So if you want a use case, you can store it into variable. It's not at all a problem. If you don't want a use case, then no need to store it because it won't give any error. But in variable level, it always you have to store it into one more variable because program will throw you error. As of now, let me remove this one. See here, I'm storing my age value, integer value into one more variable. Anyway, my add method and coming whenever I'm calling add method, it is giving me one response. What is that response? This is the value of a plus b storing into result. The result returning this method add method returning the result. Now, whenever I'm calling this add method, it is coming with some response, some value. If you want, you can store it into one more variable like this final result. Clear, team? Any doubt? Like this, you can return any values. So we can return any data type. Data type nothing but you can return byte, you can return short, you can return integer. Just now we have discussed. You can return long, you can return float, you can return double, along with even you can return object to object. You can return a class object or you can return a reference. We'll discuss, team, what is this object, how can we return this reference. Clear? The only one thing is you have to understand here two key points. Whenever you're accessing a variable, always you have to store it into one more variable because program will always throw you error if you don't store this value, right? So but whenever you're trying to access a value which is having a return type, so that is an optional. To storing value of your returning method returning value is always optional. That is up to you based on your requirement whether you have to store it or leave it, right? And directly you can print like this. Println, this is my final result which is getting from my add method. Observe, team, now it will give you as it is 30. This 30 coming from where? Observe, whenever JVM starts, always looks for the main method. So program comes to the fifth line. In fifth line, we are accessing age. As of now, we are not printing this one. And the seventh line, so we are calling add method directly. So and it will going to the 12th line. Inside 12th line, I am declaring variable A, variable B. I am adding A plus B. Now store it into result. That result is returning to somewhere around. So whenever you call this add method, so it will coming with some response. That response is integer. Now you have to store it into one more integer by declaring a variable name. So say the variable name I'm printing in 8th line. Any confusion, team? Any confusion? Clear, right? So if you say clear, I'll proceed further. Bhargavi garu. Sweta ma'am. Okay, team. So considering you don't have any questions, moving further, right? So this is how we can access the variables. This is how we can declare the methods. This is how we can return the values. This is how we can store the values from the variables response and method response.
In main method, can we give another variable as a?
Sorry, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. Can you
In
repeat your
main
question?
method, in main method, can we have another variable as a?
In main method, can we have? Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. So this is what you're asking, right? See, int a equals to 30 else 50. See, so whenever you declare a variable inside a method, that is a local method. Already we know it, right? So this is local variable of main method, right? So coming to my test method, this is a local variable of my add method. There is no any relation between this A and this A. And remember, whenever you declare a variable inside a method that is local to that particular method, nowhere you can access outside of the method. So this A I can access inside this main method only.
Okay.
So this A I can access inside the main method only. And this A I can access inside my add method only.
Okay.
Okay, observe. Let observe here. See here inside. Let's consider inside my main method. I don't have a value variable. Now, if you try to access a variable a, anyway, if you store it into one more variable int a from add method, it will throw you error because this a method. See, observe. It is considering there is no a variable. Boss, there is no a variable declaration either inside the method or outside of the method. Observe here if I am giving int a equals to 1000, let me give the static. Now this time it is considering as a. Observing whenever you declare a variable outside of the method, that is a global variable, always global variable indicated by color blue color, always local variables indicated by I don't know this color, purple or red color. See this. So this is referring to your global variable, this one 1000. This is referring to your local variable 10. And and remember, let me show you one more. See here. See here. See, I have a int a equals to 1000 here, int a equal to 50. Right? See, as of now, let me comment this stuff. System.println. Now a. Let me give you inside the double quotes a equals to. Now, if I execute this program, what may be the output? I have a. I'm getting error. Okay, concatenate operation. Okay. So if I execute this program, what is the output? 1050. What may be the output if I execute this program? Give me in chart. Okay. Yeah. Okay. See, observe him. So whenever you having the local variable and global variable, always remember program will give a priority for your observe the output, you will get to know. See, a equals to 50. So if you don't have this local variable, then only program will consider global variable. If you have a local variable, always program referring to your local variable only. So whenever you have it here, the only one thing here is duplicate variables, duplicate variable names. That's why you should not give a duplicate variables. So if you maintain a variable name in class level and method level, nothing but global variable and local variable. If your two global variable and local variable name is common, so always priority goes to which one? Local only. Program will consider first local, then only global. In general, ma'am, in general, if any recruitment in, if any job opening, right? So always the people are going to give the priority for local people. And then if the local people are not there, then job opportunity goes to non-local candidates. Yes or no? Consider the same example, consider the same way. And whenever you have a local variable, always program consider local variable only. If you don't have a local variable, program consider global variable. Clear, team?
Clear.
And coming to our topic, let me comment on this one. See, whenever you're accessing a variable, that should be stored into one more variable, otherwise you will get error. So whenever you're trying to access, so methods, so always, so method having some response, so whether it may be void or it may be a return type, it's storing the method return type or storing method response. It's up to you based on your requirement. If you want, you can store it for further use, otherwise you don't get any error. Method but for variables you have to store it. Program will forcefully throw you to store the variable response. Clear, team? Please let me know if you have any doubts. Return type and local variable, global variable. And remember, always your return statement should be end line of your method. The only one thing you have to consider is here return statement should be end line of method, any method here. So after this return statement, let's consider, see, observe here. So after written statement, I'm trying to give system.out.println. Program will throw you error. Always your return statement should be last line of your method. Clear? Now error gone. And remember, you should not maintain two return statements. Always you have to maintain only one return statement in end of your method. And you can return any value based on your requirement. You can return byte, short, long, int, float, double, even object also. And remember always main method return type should be void. See, observe here, I'm changing main method return type into integer. It will give you error anyway. The program will not consider it's a main method. Always main method syntax is as it is, public static void main, and the signature is main string or a args. If you're trying to change anything, that program will not consider the main method. Clear, team? That is the return type. So your main method return type is void. Main method not returning anything. You can give your methods as any return type, but observe, so you whenever you mention a return type, so always this is correlated, right? So if you are mentioning here return type, you have to mention return statement. If you are maintaining return type, so you have to maintain return type based on your return value. Based on you have to maintain your return type in your method signature. Clear? So suppose if you're trying to give return statement, if it is void, it will always give you error. So that program will forcefully just please boss the remove this return statement. Otherwise you will get error. But based on your return statement, you have to change your return statement of method to data type, the value which you are returning here. Clear? Can we close it, man, or can I continue few more 10 minutes? Is it okay to continue 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes? Give me in chat box. Okay, 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 thank you. See, observe carefully here. Observe carefully. So the main method having string arrays, the parameter. But do I have any passing any parameter here? As of now, I am not passing parameters. See, observe carefully. Observe carefully. Here, let me comment out these things. Right. So let me remove my global variable also. Let me remove this all these things. As of now, or else let me remove this entire statement. See, as of now, I am having only main method and my method. See, so this is the method which is trying to add the two numbers, right? So let me give you one requirement. Like here, I don't want to supply the values in this method only, add method only. I want to pass the values from any class, from any method. That is what my requirement. See, this method has to act like this. If I pass, see, my requirement is, so my requirement, this is requirement. So this is my requirement. So if I pass 100 plus 200, it has to add and it has to give 300. Or else if I pass any value, if I pass n, if I pass m, it has to give the result of this n plus m. Nothing but if I the method should implement, the method should work such a way that if I pass any numerical value, that should be add and I should get the response. I should have a response of that particular the value of two numbers. Then how to implement like this? See, observe carefully. Observe carefully. So here I want to add a number called A, number called B. So that should be stored into one more variable, that is a result. Right? So here I want to implement this method such a way that it has to accept any number, it has to add any two numbers. Here for that I can pass the numbers dynamically like this. Inside my parentheses integer a, you can declare like this, comma integer b. Already we know it, right? So by the time of declaring a variable, so what is the syntax for declaring a variable? Data type, so variable name equals to variable value. Out of this variable value, so in the data type, variable name and variable value, always my variable value is optional. It is up to you. You can declare by the time of declaring a variable, you can assign the value, or else you can update the value, or else you can update the value by existing value. Right? See, I can declare variable like this. I can assign value like this here. Right? Or else I can update Static, give the static here. See here, as of now, C having value, no, right? If I execute this program, if I print the program before the statement, before the 8th line, what is the output? If I execute, give me in chat. If I execute this program and if I print the C, what is the output? Come on, team. 99. Where I'm getting 99, ma'am? No, ma'am. See, I haven't given any value. If I don't give a value, remember by the time of execution, program will always going to give default values. What is the default value of integer? Today morning only we have discussed. See, the default
0.
value of byte, short, long, int are 0. Whenever you don't declare a variable value, so always the program considers default value. If I execute this one here, I'll get the output 0, default value. So if I execute after the updating value, here I will get the 50 because I have updated value. So if I execute now, and what is maybe the output? Now this time it will give you not 50, it will give you 100. Declaring variable value without value, declaring variable value, updating variable value. You have to remember, team. See, like this, here I am declaring variable. Let's consider it's a local variable within my parentheses, but there is no value. When I am give this value, by the time of calling this add method, I can supply my variable value. Here, observe, team, observe, I can supply my variable value here 10, and I can supply my variable value 20. Now observe, if I execute this program, and JVM start the execution from 6th line, always looks for a main method coming to the 7th line. What I'm calling here, I'm calling my add method directly. It will coming to 7th line to 12th line. So in 12th line, and this add method coming with the value 10 and 20. 10 comes to the here, A equals to 10, and B comes to the here, B equals to 20. Now it is come to here, A is having the value 10 and B is having the value 20. Now this will add the two numbers and store it into result. As of now, let me remove this one. Now I'm dynamically adding A value and B value, store it into result. Now it is nothing but it is a combination of, it is adding two values 10 plus 20. Clear, team? For understanding purpose, let me give you system.out.println. Then the result is what is the output? Observe, team, 20. Any doubts? See here. So I have implemented this add method dynamically. It has to accept any number of data. And here again, I'm trying to call this add method second time. It will give you, now this time I want to add 100 and 200. Or else let me let me counter this one. So here I want to return this result here. Just give return result. I want to return this result by the time of calling in any method. Now why I'm getting error here? Commenting, why I'm getting error here?
The method return type is void.
Exactly.
Void.
So the return type is not matching here. So I'm trying to return result. Please keep on muting. I'm trying to return integer, but my method return type is void. Now change my return type into integer. Now error gone. Observe here. So let me store it into here because my add return type is integer. If you want, I can store it here into final result. Right? So let me print this final result within the double quotes understanding purpose. Sorry, give within the double quotes to understand purpose the final result. My final result is, let me observe as of now. Let's comment out this one. Now, so I have add method. So with the parameter passing integer a, integer b, and now I'm adding the integer a coming from here. I'm adding b integer b coming from here. A plus b, store it into result, right? This result I'm returning with return statement. My add method return type is integer. I'm calling this add method directly inside my main method, store it into one more variable, right? Now let me observe the output. Run as Java application. Final result 30, right? So now my add method is dynamic now. So earlier it is a static. It is adding only 10 value, 20 value. Now this time, by the time of calling, if I give any value, it will act like it will add any number of values. Observe. This is a combination of two numbers. If I change the value, it will act like anything. Here you can change the values. What is the use case of parameter team? See, parameters you can pass to your methods dynamically. You have to implement your method such a way that it has to act dynamically. So this is my add method is now it is acting as dynamically. Earlier I'm taking a local variable a equal to 10, b equal to 20. So I'm adding a equal to 10 equal to 30. That is work for only whenever you have a equal to 10, b equal to 30. Sorry, 20. That will give you only result 30. Now this time add method can act like anything dynamic. You can add any two numbers. For that you have to pass your parameter by the time of execution, by the time of calling your method, and you can return your values by using return statement, and that should match with your data type. Your method return type should not match with your return type, and again by the time of calling, if you want, you can store it. Otherwise no need to store it. Program will not throw any error. Clear, team? That is the return type. That is method accesses. We can access method in 3 levels: directly, with class name reference if it is static, with object reference, right? So that is the parameters. We can pass parameters through using methods. Why we are passing parameters? To act like a dynamic. This is what dynamic team. So this add method now it can act like a dynamic method. It can act any numbers. It can add any numbers. Whatever the number you're supplying here is coming to this add method. This 7th line to 14th line. 14th line, this now this a value having this value, this b value having this value. Again the value with whatever the coming to this 15th line, I am adding adding the here the value of a, whatever the value coming with a, and I'm adding b. Now a plus b adding, and it store it into result. That result I'm returning with return statement. Again the method having coming with response. That response, resultant response, store it into final variable. So final result, that final result we are printing here. Clear, team? So if you have any confusion, please just watch video again, right? And